All right, now we're gonna do what's called the 20-10-10 drill. This is now driving out for 20 meters, taking 10 meters to transition upright, and 10 meters of quick turnover. Now you notice if I'm an athlete who's only running a total of, say, 8 steps, or say 10 steps, 16, this is probably gonna be too long. So for the older athletes, what this drill is, it's great for allowing them to kind of set up that full approach instead of a short approach. So you notice down here, I've still got my 10-5-5 drill set up. So what I'm gonna do is now take this cone, I'm now gonna put my first big cone down here at 20, okay? I'm gonna pick these up. So I'm gonna drive for 20, which you can see is a lot longer. I'm gonna go 10 more meters. Here we go. I'll place this cone down at the 10 meters. So I've got 20 plus 10 is 30. And then I'll put these down at the 0, which would be 40. So now I've got 40 total meters of a run up. Now it's important to remember that this is probably gonna be too long for most athletes that are under elite. So we can allow them to come out here and try this if we want, but in reality, they're probably gonna wanna be maybe a 15-10-10. Might be more in line with someone who's on a 16-foot step approach, or even 18-step approach, depending on how far the athlete is. So now I'm just gonna come down here and I'm just gonna try this. I'm gonna push out for this many. And again, when I'm down here, I'm gonna have a coach counting every other step so I can count every left. Just try. So I'm gonna drive out for 20, which is a pretty good way. So here, really focus on driving, using those as visual cues of when to transition and really work on my turnover. So now we're gonna move our 20-10-10 drill out to the runway and go through that same drill down here. So I've got the measuring tape pulled out to my takeoff zone. I've got those 2 cones set up there. 10 meters away, I've got my first cone. Another 10 meters back, I've got my second one. And this is already 10, 20, so now I'm at 20 meters out. So you notice I'm already pretty far away. This is where we started our 10-5-5 drill. So now I've got to go another 20 back, which is gonna put me at 40 meters back. So if I walk all the way back here, my runway is only going to 35. So maybe this is a good point to emphasize here. Most runways might only be 40 meters long. Some might not even be 40 meters long. So if you've got a really long run up, you need to also have a shorter run up in case you get out to a meet and realize, hey, my run up is 40 meters. My run up is down here. I'm from a 116-foot run up. Well, guess what? That's longer than the runway. So you better have a short approach ready to go. So I'm gonna come down here and I have this now at 35. I'm just gonna real quickly switch these cones because I wanna use this cone as a bright visual representation, and that's gonna help me. And then I'll come back here to 35. So now this is no longer a 20-10-10 drill. I've now realized it has to be a 15-10-10 drill. So I'm gonna drive for 15, transition upright for 10, and really work on turnover for 10. So I'm back here, I'm a left-footed jumper, so I take off with my left, I start with my left.